Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Tahir Dhindsa and you're watching SDTV. World Economic Forum has come of an age. Now they are commenting on different economic situations. They have research at their website and they're very much tangled and involved in what is happening across the world and close to the other countries and how these states are interrelated and what are the prudent policies for different stage at a different time and what should they look for, what are the pathways. The World Economic Forum has just released a report on Pakistan saying certain things. It has earmarked what are the possibilities for growth, and they have also given the downside of it. Okay, what are the risks which must be avoided? Otherwise, they have a potential to derail or curtail growth over a long time. We have today with us the person who represents World Economic Forum in Pakistan through his organization, Amir Jahangir, and we are going to talk to him and ask him what are the risk factors and what is the other side. Amir, very warm welcome.
Thank you.
Just tell us something about that. What are the positive sides? What are the opportunities that this report gives to Pakistan? Obviously, for Pakistan, they can work there.
Well, this is the 20th edition of the Global Risk Report that has come out, and it has identified more than 140 plus economies and their risks. Pakistan is there. Pakistan has shown both weaknesses and also positive signs. In terms of its weaknesses, economy, debt challenges, inflation, climate change, they have been identified as the major risk for Pakistan in the next 2 to 10 years. But the opportunities and the positive side of that is how Pakistan has tackled the economic challenges, how inflation has been brought down from 38% to now 4 or 6%, which has been commended by the World Economic Forum also.
Inflation has come down because you don't have a power to buy. You don't have money in your pocket. You cannot buy. So obviously there are no buyers, as the Thomas Hardy would say. So the inflation is because the poverty has increased. And the debt sustainability is because of the external support. But in the world, nobody wants Pakistan to spill the beans and defaulted. So that is because of the external support and increasing poverty. But what are the risks?
The major risk is if you don't manage your economy well, if you don't look at the debt crisis, it can trigger major challenges in the next 2 to 3 years.
In terms of sustainability of
In terms of sustainability. Climate change is a major challenge. Pakistan is one of the most vulnerable countries in the world. And if Pakistan does not address that, it can be a major challenge for the next 10 years, in the next 10 years. So that is a very important. The fourth is the social fabric of the society needs to be looked at also. The descendant voices needs to be addressed as well. That is also a major
polarization.
Polarization has been identified as a major challenge.
And water also.
This also leads into disinformation and misinformation as a major challenge as well. The positive side is that Pakistan is not part of the global rat race on defense spending. Pakistan has been identified as a country which has been putting money to social health, social development, health, and also education, which identifies that Pakistan will not be part of the global flashpoints around the world in the next 3 to 5 years.
It's a news to me. Pakistan spends $28 billion on defense.
But comparatively to
and less than $1 billion on all the social sector. But as you say, it's all right. But the flashpoint is because if you become part of the overall umbrella of the US, obviously you're not going to fight with which you have been clubbed. It has another reason. But what about the social fabric? Because unless there is a political stability, foreign who would invest if there is not a political?
There, the issue of governance has been highlighted.
All right.
And then governance needs to be addressed in a manner that institutions needs to be strengthened.
Right.
Policies needs to be in a manner that they can be they can have sustainable impact on the outcomes, basically.
Right.
So that are some of the challenges that Pakistan needs to look at. In the last 1 year, there have been certain changes to curb down corruption as well. And that is something which needs to be looked at, because that has highlighted that the level of corruption has been addressed, but the perception of corruption has also increased, that the institutions are not performing as they are being desired to perform.
You know, this year Nobel Prize have been given to two writers who have written the book Why Nations Fail. It says because they fail, and it has taken a stock from Julius Caesar, Rome of Julius, not this Rome of Julius Caesar, and Aztecs and Incas and Ethiopia, I mean ancient Ethiopia, and then Spain and modern England from glorious revolution. It says it has extractive economic institutions like FBR, getting taxes from the hand.
Extracting value out of
Valued. Weak political central government like we have after the 18th Amendment, no control on province and non-representative ultimate authority at the top without democracy. That leads to elite capture. So the issue is that every state that has gone down the drain, failed, was because of the elite capture. Elite capture means that couple of thousand people capture 80-90% of the fortune of a country and the rest of the countries. Do you think this Pakistan can still, when the democracy is very weak here?
Well, it's also a colonial legacy that we carry through those institutions. I think those reforms have not taken place in Pakistan.
Across the border, they have done it.
But to some extent,
they're also struggling.
They also face those challenges. Corruption is also very rampant in
That is everywhere.
neighboring countries also. But the challenge is that Pakistan has not identified its framework for governance.
Right.
So the governance is either from one of the frameworks which are available in throughout the world. Either it's the framework of capitalism, human rights, or any other governance model. So we have to identify something which is created from within the system, and the system needs to evolve at that point.
Right. So obviously it has other challenges, because if it's bottom up, it will challenge the status quo. But anyway, so it's a good report. I think there must be a couple of nuggets which should be picked up, and the government should. So the World Economic Forum has given its advice. It has given basically the fact sheet. Now it is up to the different government to adopt that and reform them according. Obviously, these reforms are not without pain, because principally, it challenges the status quo, which is the elite. So elite don't want to be disturbed, and that is the reality of today. With this, we come to the end of the program. Bye for now.